MGS P6 Weighted Assessment 2 2024. Now let's look at the first question. Express 15y minus 3 minus 4y plus 7y plus 20 in the simplest form. Okay, let me write out what the question gives us first. Now, starting with 15y, I'm going to group all the like terms together. So this means that we are going to uh, shift the terms around, starting with 15y, and then we have minus 4y and plus 7y. So the sign and the number behind it goes together. And followed by minus 3 plus 20. Okay, we have 15y minus 4y plus 7y. 15y minus 4y is 11y. 11y plus 7y is 18y. Now, a lot of students will think that, oh, minus 3 plus 20 will be minus 23. But actually, no. The minus follows the 3. So imagine, picture this. You're taking away 3. So you're losing 3, right? And then someone gives you another 20. So what is the overall effect of that? Okay, you don't lose 23. You lose only 3 at first, and then you receive 20. So that actually means that you gain 17. Okay, so this should be plus 17, not minus 23. So that is the common error that many students may make. Next, find the value of the expression 7p minus 6 over 4 when p is 35. Okay, 7p means 7 times p, so 7 times 35. Then minus 6 and divide by 4. Okay, 7 times 35 is 245. And minus 6 moving over 4. So on top is 239. Divide by 4. And you're going to get the mixed number. Okay, so how many holes do you have? You'll have 59 holes and 3/4 left. So 59 and 3/4 is the answer. Question 2a, express 0.25% as a fraction in its simplest form. So as this is a percentage, you want to express it as a fraction, meaning like there's no percentage at all. So anything you want to change, whenever you want to change from percentage, you divide by 100. So we have 0.25 divide by 100 or over 100. Over 100 is the same as divide by 100. So if you want the top to be a decimal, sorry, not decimal, a whole number, you have to multiply it by 100, which means you do the same to the bottom. Then you'll have 25 over 10,000. And you have to simplify it. If you divide 25 on the top and the bottom, you'll get 400 below. So 1 over 400. Okay, next one, ratio 10 to 6 is equal to what? Something to 15. Now you can't change from 6 to 15 straight away. So what we do is simplify it first. So you divide by 2 on both sides. You get 5 to 3. Now I can change my second number to 15 by multiplying it by 5. So you multiply both sides by 5 and you get this. So the missing number will be 25. Question 3. Pie chart shows the number of red, yellow, blue, and green marbles. Half of the marbles are made up of red and green in the ratio 3 to 2. There are 52 green marbles. How many blue marbles are there? Okay, so the green is 52. red to green is 3 to 2, which means that 2 units is 52. So 1 unit is 52 divided by 2, 26. We know that red and from the diagram, right? Red and green is actually half. No, sorry, the question said that half of them are red and green. So if I want to find half of it, right, I'll be finding 5 units. The total of red and green will be 5 units. Because on the other side, you have the other half, right? Yellow and blue will make up half of the whole circle, which means that blue, if yellow is 1/4, then blue has to be 1/4 as well. So I'll just half the 130, which is 65. Okay, so 130 is red and green, which is the same as yellow and blue. Then you half that to get just blue. Question 4, we have a ratio again. At a carnival, the ratio of the number of adults to that of the children is 3 to 8. Ratio of boys to girls 1 to 3. What is the ratio of adults to boys to girls? Here, write down our ratio and then we try to find common base. Adults to children 3 to 8 as given. Boys to girls 1 to 3. Now there is a common base between these two ratios. So something that represents the same thing, right? So in the first ratio, I have children. And in the second ratio, I also have children, which means that I need to find the total of boys and girls. Okay, so we write children, C. This is a 4. The number of children should be the same, so we have to change the 4 into 8, which means that we need to multiply the whole fraction by 2. Okay, with that, I can find my ratio, adults to boys to girls. Adults 3, boys 2, girls 6. Question 5, percentage. City bought a pair of rollerblades at 25% discount and saved $28. What's the price of the rollerblades before the discount? Okay, so if the discount is 25%, that is also what she would have saved. So 25% is the $28 that she saved. So if you want to find before the discount, right, which means the original price, 100%. So you want to take $28, multiply by 4. Because 25% times 4 will give you 100%. Okay, so just multiply 28 by 4. Question 6. Randy spent 30% of his money on a badminton racket. He spent another $84 on books. In the end, he had 55 of his money left. How much money did Randy have left? Okay, take note that this question is not about a percentage of the remainder, but instead, this 30% is of the original money. This 55% is also of the original amount of money, which means that if we were to take 100 minus 30 minus 55%, you'll get the percentage that he spent on books. So books will be 100% minus 30% and 55%, which we will get 15%. So since he spent 84 on books, right? So the 15% will be $84. Okay, then we find 1%, which is 84 divided by 15. You get $5.60. How much did Randy have left? He was left with 55%. So that is what we want to find. So 55 times 560. Answer $308. Question 7. Allison and Blake shared some stickers in a ratio 1 to 2. Carl had 3/4 the number of stickers that Blake has. What fraction of the total number of stickers did Blake have? Okay, so firstly, A to B, 1 to 2. Carl had 3/4, so 3 for Carl, 4 for Blake. So again, you'll find common base, which is Blake for both ratios. So you want to change the 2 into 4. Now we try to find fraction. What fraction of the total did Blake have? What is the total? For the total, we add A plus B plus C. 9 units. And since Blake has 4 units, so answer will be 4 out of 9. Question 8. Samantha bought some red, yellow, and green balls. 130 of the balls were red. 30% of the balls were yellow. She bought 50 more green than yellow. How many yellow balls did Samantha buy? Okay, for this question, I'm going to use a model and I'm going to change 30% into a fraction. So we only work with units. So 30% as a fraction is 3 out of 10. So I'm going to draw 10 units. Okay, 130 of the balls are red, right? But I don't really know like how much is 130. So what I'll do is I'll cut out, I'll differentiate the yellow balls first because that's 3 units. So yellow balls will be 3 units. Then we look at green. So for green, it's 50 more than yellow. So since yellow is 3 units, right? Green will be 3 units plus a little bit more. How big is 50? We're not sure, but I'm just going to uh, cut out a little bit here. This is 50, and this is green. So just make sure that green is more than yellow. Okay, then now I can label the rest as red, which is 130. Okay, so now if I look at the numbers that I have in this model, right, I can actually find 4 units by taking 130 plus 50. Then I get 180, I'll find 1 unit. 180 divided by 4, which is 45. How many yellow marbles did Samantha buy? That's 3 units. So 3 times 45 is 135. Okay, that's the answer for part A. Now let's look at part B. Part B, Samantha lost some of her red balls while playing a game. There was a 10% decrease in the number of red balls. How many red balls did she lose? Okay, so the number of red balls is 130, right? That's her original. So that is 100% of what she had at first. 100% are just 130. How many did she lose? She lost some. There's a 10% decrease. So she must have lost 10%. Okay, so you just find 10% of the red marbles. From 100, you have to divide by 10 to get 10%. So I take 130 divided by 10. Okay, so answer is 30 red balls. Sorry, 13. Okay, question number 9. Bar graph represents the number of students who took part in some activities. Each student chose only one activity. The number of students who chose basketball was two-thirds of those who chose archery. The ratio of those who chose cycling to that of swimming was 5 to 2. Number of students who chose swimming and cycling formed 50% of all the students. Okay, so over here you have a bar graph with a missing bar here, and then you have a pie chart. So the information is also represented in this pie chart. Name of the activities are represented by W, X, Y, and Z. Okay, so you need to fill in the blanks for each of these labeling X, Y, W, X, Y, or Z. Okay, important information that you need. Swimming and cycling formed 50%. Oops. Now we know that cycling is the highest, right? The most, because we also have this ratio here. Cycling is the most, so this is definitely cycling. Then since cycling and swimming form 50%, so X must be swimming, which means that that leaves us with archery and basketball. Archery is greater than basketball, so this has to be archery, and this has to be basketball. Okay, so archery is a Z, basketball is a Y, cycling it's W, and swimming is X. ZYWX. How many students were there all together? There must be a number given, right? So, 250. 250 is those who did cycling. Let's use the ratio 5 to 2. Cycling to swimming. 5 to 2. Or cycling is 250. So 5U is 250. 1 unit is 250 divided by 5. Since cycling and swimming will give us 50% of the total, right? Let's find cycling and swimming, which is 7 units. So 7 times 50, 350. This is 50% of total. Okay, so you want to find total, you just multiply that by 2. Pie chart. The pie chart shows the number of each type of flowers in two different gardens, Garden A and Garden B. Total number of total number of flowers in Garden A is 3 times the total number of flowers in Garden B. Garden B, the number of tulips is two-thirds the number of sunflowers. So you need to find out if each of the statement is true, false, or not possible to tell. Okay, so firstly, Garden A is 3 times the flowers in Garden A is 3 times of B. So this one is 3 times of B. Then the first one, number of roses in A is 3 times the total number of tulips and sunflowers. This is 1/4 of the whole pie chart, right? Tulips and sunflowers is also 1/4 of the whole pie chart. And it is true that the roses will be then 3 times. Because if your total is 3 times of B's total, right? Then any equal portion of it will also be 3 times of garden B. Okay, so the rose is 1/4. Tulip and sunflower together is also 1/4. So roses must be 3 times of that. So that's a true. Okay, true. Let's take true. There are fewer roses in A than B. Is it true that this number of roses is actually fewer? Now, when you look at it at face value, it seems like yes, it's like much smaller in terms of the area occupied in the pie chart. But actually, no. Remember the roses is supposed to be 3 times. I mean, the whatever you have here is supposed to be 3 times of the same portion in garden B. But if the number of roses occupy 3 times the space, okay, so it's like 3/4, 3/4. Then if this is 3 times, so example, maybe I just write it this way. This is 3 units, right? And that is 3 times of this 1/4, and that's 1 U. It's 1 U, 1 U. So actually, the number of roses is the same. 3 units, 3 units. So is it true? No, it's false. It is not possible to tell because we can tell for sure that they are the same. The last part, ratio of number of tulips in A to the total of flowers in B is 1:1. Tulips is 1/3. Okay, let me just remove the units first. So if tulips is 1/3, the number of tulips here, or rather 1/3, is 3 times the amount of 1/3 in the second one. But now we're looking at the whole of garden B. So that 1/3 is tripled. And it will be the same as the 1/3 of garden A. Make sense? Okay, so if garden A is 3 times of B, it means that 1/3 of A must be the same as the whole of B. If garden A is 3 times of B, then 1/3 of garden A will be the same as the whole of garden B. Okay, so the answer is true. Tulips is tulips to tulips in A to the total in B is 1:1. They are equal. Okay, 11. Same brand of laundry detergent is sold in 2 shops in 2 sizes. So we have the big and the small. The prices before discounts are the same. Okay, the price of a big bottle before discount is 14.40. Susan bought one small, one big from A. This is shop A. She paid 18.25. What's the price of the small bottle before discount? Okay, so the discount given in shop A is that if you buy one big bottle, you get 45% off the small bottle. So for the big bottle, you're actually paying 100%. Okay, but for the small one, you only pay 55%. Now the big bottle, no discount. Discount is only for the small. So what we do is we take 18.25 minus the original price of the big bottle to get the small one. Okay, one small, which is at a discounted price. So 18.25 minus 14.40, $3.85. Okay, so the $3.85 is actually 55% of the small bottle. From here, you want to find original price of the small one, so you are actually trying to find 100%. Okay, for 1%, 385 divided by 55, which is 7 cents. So original price of the small one, which is 100%, you times 100. So you get $7. Okay, so answer $7 for the small one before discount. Next part, Michelle bought a bundle set from shop B. What percentage of the amount of money spent in shop B did she save from buying? Uh, how much did she save by buying from B instead of A, rounded to one decimal place? Okay, for the bundle set, right, she's getting two big and two small. Okay, two big and two small. So, if she buys from shop A, too big and too small, it will be two times of this. Okay, two times of this because this is one big, one small. You want two big, two small, it will be 1825 times 2. Because from part A, we know that Susan paid 1825 for that. Okay, so one shop A, two big plus two small, which is 2 times 1825. $36.50. Okay, so if she buys from shop A, she have to pay 36.50. But instead, if you buy from shop B, you only pay $35. So the savings will be 36.50 minus $35, which is $1.50. Now, this is not the final answer because they're asking for the percentage of savings. So the savings is 150. We should be using 150 over what? So since you're comparing against shop A, right, instead of shop A. So the denominator should be shop A's price, which is 36.50 and times 100%, which is 4.1096%. You use your calculator and calculate, then you want one decimal place. So round it to 4.1%. If you're using the answer key, there might be an error. It's supposed to be 4.1%. Okay, this is the answer. Okay, last question. Last question. Figure below is formed by a right angled triangle here, FGZ, overlapped square ABCD, and a rectangle EFGH. Area of the square is 25%, the area of the rectangle, the ratio of the area of rectangle to the triangle is 5:3. Shaded area is 1/3 of the total area of the square. The square has a side of 15 cm. What is the area of the figure? Okay, so I have a percentage, ratio, fraction. Let's change everything to ratio so that we can compare more easily. So 25% means square to rectangle. Square is 25, rectangle is 100. Because in a sentence with percentage, the one at the back, which is the rectangle, is always 100%. Okay, simplify this, you get 1:4. Next, ratio of rectangle to triangle, 5:3. Then we have shaded area Shaded area is 1/3 the square. So 1 to 3. Now common base. Firstly, our rectangle, 4 and 5. Change it to 20. Okay. Then next we want to make the square the same. This is a 5, this is a 2. So we want to change to common multiple. Sorry, that's not a 2, that's a 3. 5 and 3 common multiple is a 15. So times 3. This has to be 15. So this is times 5. Then because the 20 changed to 60, right? So this one you have to change to 60. Okay, 20 times 3, 20 times 3 here. So this is 36. Then underline a common base. Okay, now what we do is we're going to put in the numbers for each of the areas. The triangle is 36 units. The shaded part is 5 units. So what about the square? The square is 15 units minus away the shaded part. So the unshaded part must be 10 units. Then for the rectangle, it's 60 units. Shaded part is 5 units. So this will be 55 units. All right, then area of figure, you just add up all the units first before we use the 15 cm. Okay, so 10 U, 5 U, 55 U, and 36 units. Just 106 units. Okay, now we find the square. Find the square. Area of the square is 15 times 15. Which is 225. The square is 15 units. So 225 is 15 units. 1 unit, 225 divided by 15. Which is 15. So to find the whole thing, 106 units, we take 106 times 15. Okay, then that will give you the area of the whole figure. 1590 square cm. Okay, with that, that's all for this paper here. This is MGS 2024 WA2 for P6.